Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.
Oh, I love a man so invested in his work. What you couldn't see there was Jonathan punching air at that moment that he touched down. He loves it. Look at him. His work is complete.
And that was
fantastic.
That was textbook, wasn't it, Jonathan?
It was absolutely perfect. It really was. I mean, you know, there was a lot of acronyms in there which only sort of geeks like myself really understand. But you know, there were moments when it was on the surface, and they had to wait. You know, I spoke to you about those pyrotechnics, didn't I? About how they have to cut them. The last pyrotechnics that fire cut the cables, and they have to be sure that they've cut. The sky crane doesn't drag the rover away because those cables won't cut. And so you heard them say RIMU stable. That meant the rover wasn't moving. UHF was stable. That meant that the sky crane hadn't crashed down on top. And so once they'd heard all of that, they waited a few seconds and then they declared it. Touchdown confirmed. Absolutely beautiful.
You know what we have to reflect on as well is this is such an international effort. We're looking at the control room there at NASA. But when that parachute deployed, there was a little team in Tiverton in Devon that were jumping for joy. There's a small company there called Heathcote Fabrics, and they make parachutes from lace and silk. And they've been making parachutes since the Second World War. And they now make the parachute for this rover to descend onto the Martian surface. Quite extraordinary, really. And there are little teams like that all around the world that have contributed to this, Jonathan.
And can I just jump in, because we do have some breaking news apart from the fact that Perseverance has landed on Mars. The rover has tweeted already, "I'm safe on Mars. Perseverance will get you anywhere. #countdown to Mars."
It's great. Talk to me about those teams there around the world, Jonathan. I mean, who's contributed to this?
Well, there are some big contributions that are done through bilateral agreements that NASA has with other space agencies. So, for example, the French have produced one of the laser-type instruments that the rover is going to use. The Spanish have provided the weather system that it has. But yeah, they've got all sorts of people working on it. You know, I mean, one of the scientists that's planned the route is British. There's everybody who's got a finger in their pie. I should say that the thing that I'm waiting for now is a picture of Jezero crater. This rover was programmed. As soon as you touch down, you take a picture in front and you take a picture back.
And how long does that take to come back?
Send them straight to Earth. Right, now, the question is, it should come back very, very soon. Very soon indeed.
Is that it?
Yes. So just explain, Jonathan, what we've been seeing so far.
There it is.
What we've been...
That's the picture.
There it is already. So I thought it was going to take 11 minutes.
That is the picture.
That is amazing.
No. So what they were hoping to do was to get a picture back before the satellite, which has relayed this, disappeared over the horizon. And then they'd have to wait several hours until another one came over. Now, this tells the engineers what the surface is like that they've landed on. I mean, you can see from that, to me, that looks like the front of the rover. You can just see the elbow of the robotic arm there. And there'll be a picture that will come from the back. Actually, you can tell that that's the robotic arm there, because you can see the shadow of the equipment there on the ground. But they'll have a picture from behind as well. And what I'm hoping is that we'll see that cliff, which is the target of where they want to go in the next few months. Now, of course, they can put it down to within a few hundred meters. They can't actually tell you which orientation it's going to be. We'll let them off with that. But amazing to get this picture. Overnight tonight, we may get the first of these little movies that were taken from the vehicle as it came down. You'll see the ground approaching the rover as it neared the surface of Mars. But it's terrific. This is what it's all about. And now we've got several years ahead of us to trundle around this crater and you know, potentially make the greatest ever scientific discovery. You know, what bigger scientific discovery is there than to detect life beyond Earth. There really isn't, is there? And, you know, even if it doesn't, that's really interesting as well. You know, if we don't detect life on Mars, we then have to ask ourselves, well, why didn't we? You know, we know that it was habitable 3.5, 4 billion years ago. Why wasn't there life on Mars like there was on Earth? And, you know, it's kind of, you start thinking, well, maybe there has to be some sort of special spark. It's not a case that, you know, you build it and they come, that life just happens. There needs to be something special that occurs. Clearly happened on Earth. Did it happen on Mars? That's what we want Perseverance to tell us.
Amazing.